Now that Skydance owns Paramount, just sit back and watch what they're about to do, because they are definitely putting pieces in place and making chess moves that's about not only going to be their best move, but it's going to change the way streaming platforms and the streaming industry is done. Now, I know some of y'all going, what do you mean by they finna change the way streaming is done? It's very simple. And when they said this, I was so happy because I said somebody finally gets it. Now, according to David Ellison, who's the CEO of the new Paramount, he has made it clear, along with other people in the company, that they are not and have absolutely positively no interest in creating original streaming films. They're standing far away from that as they can. They're only going to focus on original series. And when I heard that, I said, thank you. Somebody finally gets it. Somebody who's got some sense understands what's going on. Because, first of all, streaming as a whole has been in the toilet. And you can tell that it's been a toilet because you have a lot of platforms that are working together now to offer subscriptions to both of them. You see Hulu and Stars and all these other people that's teaming up together to say, hey, if you pay this fee, you'll get access to these 3 platforms. And the reason why they're doing that is because they are not getting the numbers that they want to get. When you look at Netflix, and I always said this, and people agree with me with this, when it comes to Netflix original series, they kick ass. But when it comes to them making original movies, they movies suck. Like that whole Red Notice franchise. To me, they should never wasted any time doing those movies. Those movies was extremely expensive, and they didn't see no return on their investment. Nothing. So now he's saying that we see the flops and we see how it's a financial disaster to produce original films. So we're going to stick with the original series because their original series have been pulling in the numbers and the money. So it makes sense to them. They got the Yellowstone franchise. They got Mobland. They got what's the series with Jeremy Renner? Kingstown Mayor, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But if I'm saying it wrong, please forgive me on that. But they got that series. And then also they got one of my favorite shows on that, Bar Rescue. So what he's saying is that the series makes sense because not only is it going to draw more people to get subscriptions, but they can also be profitable off the advertisement. That's the first move. The second move that they're doing, that they're saying that when it comes to films, they're only going to focus on films going straight to the theater. And I get that because you have a lot of because when a movie comes out, when it goes to the theater, it's not even a theater that long. It stays there for a couple of months, and then they be like, okay, they're announcing a streaming date. Or you have some films that when the movie is out, they'll put it on streaming at the same time as well. Well, the problem with that is that if you're going to put it on streaming at the same time as at the theater, how are you going to make a profit? You can't. So what he's saying is that we're going to take all our original films, they're going to go to theater. We're going to take our original series and put it on streaming. Now, that's going to change the way streaming is done because now when other streaming platforms see that these moves that they're making and see how profitable they are, please believe they're going to follow behind them and do the same thing. They're going to do it. And Hollywood, right now, they're in so much trouble because there's not a lot of material coming out of there. There's not good material coming out that people want to see. It's just a whole bunch of reboots and remakes, but they're starting to see doing all these reboots and remakes is not making any money. The superhero genre films, those are not making any money. So originality is starting to make its way back. We've seen that with Sinners. We've seen that with the Yellowstone series. We've seen that recently with Weapons. So people want to see original content. And the Ellisons recognize that, so they're saying we're going to focus on that. Like I said, it makes sense. It makes sense mentally. It makes sense on a business level, and it definitely makes sense on a financial level. And like I said, you're going to see other platforms who's struggling that's going to follow that same plan. Trust me on that. So y'all tell me how y'all feel about this. Skydance, Paramount said that they're not going to be focusing on creating any original films for streaming. They're only going to focus on movies going straight to the theater and developing original series for their streaming platform. Do you think these are good moves? Do you think of bad moves? Let's talk about it. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned.